She was humiliated and thrown out of a store she secretly owned. The next day, she returned to set things right. What followed would astonish even the most seasoned observers. But let's start from the beginning. Catherine Wilson, the new owner of the boutique chain Bliss Couture, decided to visit one of the stores incognito. Dressed in casual attire, a pair of jeans, a sweater, and sneakers, she entered the luxurious boutique. Her eyes immediately fell on the accessory collection near the entrance, showcasing silk scarves and exquisite handbags. She lingered by the display to examine one of the scarves when a sharp voice interrupted her from behind. "Can I help you?" Rebecca, the store manager, stood nearby with a deliberately cold smile, her arms crossed. Catherine turned and gave a gentle smile. "Thank you. I'm just browsing for now." Rebecca's gaze swept over her, from her shoes to her hair, as if assessing whether Catherine fit the store's clientele. Finally, with a smirk, she said, "The prices here aren't for everyone. Our items are quite expensive." Trying not to show irritation, Catherine replied calmly, "That won't be an issue." Rebecca huffed, stepping closer and lowering her voice, as though not wanting to draw the attention of other customers. "Listen, our store is a space for serious clients. If you'd like to browse, perhaps another store might be more suitable. I think you'd feel more comfortable there." Catherine remained composed, though indignation was bubbling inside. "I'd just like to have a look around. Don't worry, I won't take up much of your time." "Won't take up much time?" Rebecca crossed her arms defiantly. "Look, I can call security. You're wasting my time here." The exchange began to draw attention. A couple browsing dresses nearby paused, and an older woman at the display counter glanced over at Rebecca in confusion. The store's atmosphere grew tense, but Catherine kept her cool. She stepped toward the jewelry section, where delicate necklaces were on display. "What a beautiful selection," she remarked, pointing to an elegant necklace. Rebecca, now openly irritated, snapped, "I warned you! I'm calling security! You don't belong here!" Catherine turned slowly to face her, her voice calm but firm. "Are you sure you want to speak to me that way?" "What?" Rebecca rolled her eyes. "Do I really need to explain who belongs here and who doesn't? This store is for people who understand what they're paying for." Catherine froze for a moment, then softly said, "All right, let me make a quick call to confirm something." Rebecca looked puzzled but didn't back down. Catherine took out her phone, dialing a number as she continued admiring the jewelry display. After a few seconds, she spoke into the phone. "Yes, it's me. Could you remind me who is currently managing this store?" Rebecca stiffened, realizing this was no ordinary customer. But instead of apologizing, she sneered. "Do you think your call is going to change anything?" Catherine didn't respond, simply meeting Rebecca's gaze with an inscrutable smile. After the tense exchange, Catherine continued browsing the boutique, carefully observing everything. She played the role of an interested shopper, while scrutinizing the staff's behavior and the store's overall atmosphere. Behind the counter, Rebecca stood with a look of frustration, casting pointed glances at Catherine. As Catherine passed by, she overheard Rebecca whisper to a colleague, "Here we go again. People like her think they can just walk in here. Should have left already." Catherine pretended not to notice. Soon her attention shifted to a young black couple who entered the store. They walked confidently toward a clothing rack, chatting about the outfits. Rebecca quickly intercepted them. "Excuse me, are you looking for something?" Her voice was tight, her politeness barely masking her disdain. The young man smiled. "We'd like to browse for a dress for my girlfriend." "These dresses are expensive," Rebecca replied with sarcasm. "Perhaps you'd find something more suitable at another store?" "We can afford what we want," the young woman said calmly, meeting Rebecca's gaze. Rebecca gave a cold smile. "Of course, just so you know, we only allow fittings for customers ready to make a purchase." The couple, sensing the hostility, left the store quickly. Catherine bit her lip, resisting the urge to intervene. Instead, she noted every detail: Rebecca's condescending tone, her smug expression as she watched them leave, and her whispered remark to a colleague, Told you. People like that just waste time. Moments later, an older white man entered the store. Rebecca's demeanor transformed instantly. Her smile became genuine, her voice warm and welcoming. "Good afternoon, sir. How may I assist you?" Catherine sighed quietly and approached the counter as if ready to make a purchase. But instead of serving her, the staff ignored her, focusing on rearranging papers. "Excuse me," Catherine asked. "Could you tell me the price of this necklace?" Rebecca glanced over her shoulder. "Please wait. We have other customers." Catherine stood by the counter, making mental notes of everything. How some clients were treated with deference, while others were disregarded entirely. She already knew what her next steps would be. Rebecca walked past her again, muttering under her breath, "Why are you still here? Don't you get that you're not welcome?" Catherine met her gaze, her voice steady. "Oh, don't worry. I'll clear things up very soon. See you tomorrow." Rebecca frowned but said nothing. Catherine left the boutique, determined. The next day would bring a reckoning none of the staff would forget. The next day, Catherine arrived at the boutique with a small team consisting of the brand's general manager and a lawyer. Dressed in a tailored business suit that emphasized her authority, she walked in with a confidence that immediately drew attention. The staff, including Rebecca, noticeably tensed up. Seeing Catherine, Rebecca crossed her arms and rolled her eyes before approaching her. "You again? I thought I made it clear yesterday that you don't belong here." Catherine smiled, but her tone was firm. "Today, I'm here on business." Confused, Rebecca smirked. "What business? Are you here to waste my time again, pretending to be a customer?" At that moment, the general manager stepped forward. "Ms. Wilson is the new owner of the Bliss Couture chain. She's here to evaluate the staff and operations of this store." Rebecca's smug expression froze. She took a step back, struggling to process what she'd just heard. "The new owner?" she stammered, her face turning red. "Yes," Catherine confirmed, looking her straight in the eye. "And let me just say, yesterday's incident was far from the standards I expect in my stores." Other staff members gathered near the counter, whispering in shock. One of them tried to interject. "There must be some misunderstanding. We were just—" Catherine raised her hand to silence them. "I don't need excuses. I saw how you treated customers with my own eyes." Rebecca attempted to defend herself. "Listen, I was just trying to maintain order. Some customers, well, they can seem suspicious. Surely you understand." "What exactly do I understand?" Catherine's voice sharpened. "That you judge people based on their appearance? That kind of behavior is absolutely unacceptable. I've built this business on respect and inclusivity, not discrimination." Rebecca began to lose her composure. "I was only trying to protect the store's image." Catherine stepped closer. "Image? Yesterday you insulted multiple customers, humiliated me, and created an atmosphere completely at odds with the values I stand for." The lawyer added calmly, "For the record, your actions, including discriminatory remarks and physical intimidation, violate company policy and could be grounds for legal action." Rebecca turned pale. The rest of the staff stood silently, realizing that their behavior was also under scrutiny. Catherine addressed them directly. "In the coming days, this store will undergo training and restructuring. New standards will be implemented, and anyone unwilling to adapt will be let go." She turned back to Rebecca. "As for you, your employment here is terminated effective immediately." Rebecca's voice quivered as she protested. "You can't just fire me like this." Catherine replied calmly. "I can, and I already have." At that moment, the door opened, and one of the customers Rebecca had thrown out the previous day entered, unaware of the ongoing drama. Spotting Catherine, the customer hesitated, but Catherine gave him a warm nod. "Welcome back. This is now a store for everyone." Rebecca stormed out, leaving the store in stunned silence. The remaining staff understood that significant changes were on the horizon. Catherine turned to the general manager. "Let's start fresh. This store will set the standard for respect and professionalism." Though her emotions were running high, she knew this was the first step toward meaningful change. Rebecca's dismissal quickly became the talk of the staff, evoking mixed reactions. Some employees felt relieved, knowing that the toxic atmosphere Rebecca had created would finally be addressed. Others were anxious, realizing their own actions were now under close scrutiny. Despite the tense day, Catherine wasted no time. That evening, she convened an emergency staff meeting. Standing in front of the team, she made her expectations clear. This store will be a beacon of respect, inclusivity, and professionalism. If anyone feels they cannot work under these principles, the door is open. Several staff members exchanged uneasy glances, but no one spoke up. Catherine continued. Starting tomorrow, customer service and anti-bias training sessions will begin. Every single one of you represents not just this store, but the entire brand. Your actions matter. The following day, trainers arrived to conduct interactive workshops. The sessions covered topics like unconscious bias, nonverbal communication, and treating all customers equally. For many employees, it was an eye-opening experience that forced them to confront their assumptions and behaviors. Meanwhile, a video of Rebecca's behavior, recorded by a customer during the incident, went viral on social media. Public opinion was divided. Some praised Catherine for addressing the issue head-on, while others pointed to the broader problem of systemic discrimination in retail. The situation sparked widespread debate, but Catherine was ready. In an interview with a local news outlet, she calmly stated, "My goal is to make Bliss Couture a place where every customer feels welcome. This incident is a painful but necessary step in our journey toward positive change. We're committed to doing better." The store began to transform. Catherine commissioned new signage for the boutique with the slogan, "Bliss Couture, fashion for everyone." She also introduced a new customer feedback program to ensure accountability. To show her commitment to inclusivity, Catherine organized an open house event and personally invited the customers Rebecca had mistreated, including the young couple from the previous day. When the couple walked into the store, they were greeted by smiling staff eager to assist. The young woman, remembering the incident, hesitated before asking, "Is this still the same store?" Standing nearby, Catherine answered with a smile, "The same store, but no longer the same team." The young man grinned. "Well, in that case, I think we'll buy something today." Over time, the changes began to yield results. Sales increased, and the store's revamped approach to customer service garnered praise online. The remaining staff members took pride in their work and the new, welcoming atmosphere. Watching the transformation unfold, Catherine felt a deep sense of fulfillment. She knew there was still much work to be done, but this boutique had become a symbol of her commitment to fairness and inclusion. At the end of a long day, she returned to the store to check in with the general manager. "Everything is moving in the right direction," she said with a smile. "This place truly reflects my values now." As she exited the boutique, a new customer stopped her with a smile. "Thank you for making this place better." Catherine paused, turned, and replied, "This is just the beginning.